JUNTO NAKATANI vs RYOSUKE Nishida Bantamweight Unification set for June in Tokyo, Japan. JUNTO NAKATANI and Ryosuke Nishida made a good on an in-ring promise to each other's next opponent. The pair of unbeaten Japanese boxers are now set for a mouth-watering bantamweight title unification bout on June 8 from Ariake Coliseum in Tokyo, Japan. The bout was confirmed by Taken Promotions during a press conference held Friday morning in Tokyo. Amazon Prime will carry the event live in Japan, while the show is expected to air on ESPN Plus as an early Sunday morning stream. Also announced were two undercard bouts, both at bantamweight and scheduled for 10 rounds. Former kickboxing legend and current rising contender Tenshin Nasukawa, who holds a record of 6 wins undefeated, 2 victories by knockout, against Victor Santillan, who has a record of 14 wins, 1 loss, and 5 victories by KO. Tokyo-based pro rookie Tomoya Tsuboi, who has a record of 1 wins undefeated, 1 victories by KO, versus Vietnam's Van Thao Tran, who holds a record of 18 wins with 1 loss and 10 victories by KO in a regional title fight. Nakatani, who holds a record of 30 wins undefeated with 23 victories by KO, is a 3-division titleist, will risk his WBC bantamweight title for the 4th time. Nishida, on the other hand, has a record of 10 wins undefeated with 2 victories by knockout, will attempt his 2nd defense of the IBF title he claimed last May. Confirmation of the fight comes less than 2 months after Nakatani's 3rd round knockout of former unbeaten David Cuellar on February 25 in Tokyo. Nakatani is an unbeaten 27-year-old southpaw from Kanagawa, Japan, was joined in the ring by Nishida, at which point they vowed to meet next. In an interview, Nakatani stated, and I quote, "After my last fight, I asked, who's next?" This is what Nakatani told in an in-ring translator, Mizuka Koike, at a time. Nakatani added, and I quote, "This time, Nishida, let's fight." The request was graciously accepted by Nishida, and Nishida replied, and he said, and I quote, "Yes, let's go ahead and do this." This is what Nishida told Nakatani. He also added, "I would love that fight." Now, a new lineal champion will be crowned as well, as Nakatani and Nishida are universally regarded as the 2 best bantamweights in the world. Fittingly, their all-Japanese showdown will fill the void left behind when Naoya Inoue, who holds a record of 29 wins undefeated with 26 victories by knockout, vacated the 118-pound division throne in January of 2023 to set his sights on the junior featherweight division. The matchup marks the 4th ever unification bout between reigning titleists from Japan, and the 2nd this year. Kenshiro Teraji was involved in 2 of them, including his 12th round knockout of Seigo Yuri Akui on March 13 to unify the WBA and WBC flyweight titles. The bout remains the leading candidate for 2025 Fight of the Year. Teraji previously slaughtered the then unbeaten Hiroto Kayoguchi in their November 2022 lineal WBA and WBC Junior Flyweight Championship. The fight came more than 10 years after Kazuto Ioka unified the WBC and WBA strawweight belts in a points win over Akira Yaigashi in their June 2012 Thriller. Nakatani Nishida represents the first All-Japan unification bout to include the IBF title at stake and should not include the WBA belt. The IBF title wasn't recognized by the Japanese Boxing Commission until April of 2013, along with the WBO belt. Nakatani became a 3-division titleist after a 6-round knockout of Alexandro Santiago last February 25. His win over Quellar came exactly 1 year later, already his 4th fight during the stretch. All 4 wins have come via stoppage, including his annihilations of Vincent Astrolabio and Tasana Salapat, better known to the cool kids as Patch CP Freshmart. Nishida's run hasn't been quite as spectacular, nor was there any great certainty that the 28-year-old Osaka native would land this fight. A 12-round win over 2-time titleist Emmanuel Rodriguez last May gave Japan a clean sweep on the major bantamweight titles. Just 1 fight has followed, a 7-round stoppage of unbeaten Anuchai Donsua last December 15 in Nishida's Osaka hometown. There was concern that unification plans would be disrupted by a mandatory title defense. Nishida was due to next face Mexico's Jose Salas with a fight targeted for late spring if he were unable to move forward with a more desirable showdown against Nakatani. Boxing scene has learned that Salas agreed to stand down and will instead take a stay busy fight in Mexico with expectations to next face the winner. A win by Nakatani could create a separate conversation. Despite title holds at 3 weights, this will mark his first unification bout. Nakatani's ultimate goal is to leave bantamweight as the undisputed champion, though there are already talks of a move all the way up to featherweight. That is where he is expected to face Inoue in a Japanese super fight for the ages sometime in 2026. For now, Nakatani can take comfort with a first step towards that goal, a fight he and Nishida both spoke into existence just 7 weeks ago.